Welcome, everybody, to my Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to welcome you here and please leave a comment when you come on so I can know that you're here and let me know if you're able to hear me and see me okay. We never know when we're going to have technical problems when we're starting out. So I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get here. Just catch my breath. I wasn't sure if I was going to come on today because I had some health issues yesterday. So, but I'm going to give it a try today and hopefully we get through this okay and everybody is understanding. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our housekeeping part. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and my name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and that's in the United States if you're out of the country. You can shop any of the products that I'm showcasing today at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And the host code for September, I will put scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. You can see that. And host code for September is 3NPEMKKR. And like I said, that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen for you if you missed it. Let me get back with my comments there. Okay, and if you need to email me any questions, you can email me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com, or you can private message me on Facebook, whichever you prefer to do. Okay, and here's my host code. I need to stick that underneath there. I didn't get a chance to type that up. I've been having some problems with my printer not printing, so I had the Geek Squad man was supposed to came yesterday, but I had to cancel him out because I wasn't feeling good and I had to go to the ER yesterday. So bear with me. We're going to kind of improvise things that need to be printed. And first up is, I don't know how this is going to work with my lighting. The October paper pumpkin it's called Nests of Christmas. And Paper Pumpkin Stampin' Up does 3 months. They give us a sneak peek of the 3 months that are coming up. So it'd be October, November, and December. So I'm going to show you this on my iPad. I'm hoping that you can see it okay with the glare of my lights and everything. Maybe if I turn them off, you can see better. I don't know. Let's try that. Well, I don't know if that's any better. All right, so let me tell you about October. You've got until October 10th to sign up for this kit. And it coordinates with the Nests of Winter Suite, which is in our mini catalog right now. It says, spread Christmas cheer with this cozy, all-inclusive crafting kit. It makes 10 cards, 5 each of 2 designs with coordinating envelopes. It has a tri-fold card basis and pre-cut gross grain ribbon, pre-cut labels with specialty green foil, and the Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this is the shaded spruce. Okay. And also for the 3 months, October through December, you can get the out on Mary tags and more dies. They're available while supplies last. And you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get those. So if you signed up for the October Paper Pumpkin kit, you could also get those at the same time. And it's got like a little label tag and then Mary, the word Mary, and then a leaf. So it kind of looks interesting. I need to add that to my next order coming up. All right, so I'm not going to go into any more of that until I get my printer working and I can show you a better picture. So let me know if you can hear me. I could bring it up on my iPad. Let me do that. Let's see what is going on. get out of this. On Facebook. Okay, so let me see if I can hear me. Okay, so let me see. All right, my sound sounds okay. My voice, it doesn't sound so okay, but that is what it is. Okay, I'm going to make my banners a little smaller here so you can see me. Okay. So like I said in my description of the video, we're going to be using the new Regal Flora. Let me get my lights back on here. The Regal Flora. Pretty much the suite. I think the only thing I'm not using is the twine, and the twine is out of stock. They said until the first week of November, and it comes with 3 different colors. So that's kind of a bummer, but we're not using that today, so no worries. Okay, so the bundle we're using is the Regal Flora stamp set and dies, and these can be found on page 35 of the mini catalog. It's a very pretty suite. We're going to be using everything except for the twine that's in here, which is, well, that's not even on this page. I'm thinking of another one. Okay, scratch that. We're fine. We're going to be using pretty much everything in here, except I'm not using the Regal Distress Patterns specialty paper. But everything else, we're going to be using the paper, the designer series paper, the dies, the ribbon, and the embellishments. So this is on page 35 in the mini catalog. And hopefully you received your mini catalogs by now. All right, so I want to keep this to keep the glare down. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The designer series paper is really pretty, so we're going to be using that today. And this is my designer series paper sampler sheet that I make up on all of our designer series paper. It's just kind of a good thing to keep, and I know what colors go with it and everything. So, all right, so let's get started with the pretty cards that I've made. Get my notes out of the way here. So we've got, this is our first one. It says sending love your way. And I haven't gotten anything on the inside yet. My husband just pulled up. I think he's going to interrupt us a little bit. So let me see what he does. I think he forgot I was going live. And get my bits and pieces out here. I've already done a lot of the prep work ahead of time, so hopefully that'll save some time today and effort. So we're going to start out with the Cherry Cobbler card base, and this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the center at 5 1/2 inches. We're just going to burnish that fold, and I'll set that aside for now. And I've taken our basic beige cardstock and using the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder, I've already embossed a layer that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and that's already been embossed. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Yeah, I guess it looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and attach that to our card front. And of course, I use my adhesive of choice, which is our liquid glue, our Tombow, or our, I guess it's called our mono liquid glue. And we're going to attach that to our card front. And leaving a little edge going all around it. Hopefully I've got it straight. That does challenge me sometimes, getting things put on straight. All right. And then designer series paper, we're using, let me find it on here. It's this one right here. It's the designer series paper that we're using. We're using this side of it, and it has the checkered on the other side. So that's the paper we're using. And that measures 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And I'm just going to attach that to this side of our card. And just deciding which way I want it to go. I'm going to leave a little space on the left side and the top and bottom side. Matching it up. Let that attach. Okay, so here's our card so far. And I shouldn't have put that layer down yet because I should have put my ribbon down first. I've already messed up. We're going to improvise. The ribbon that I'm using is the Cherry Cobbler and Gold satin ribbon. I'm just going to put a strip of that down. And I guess I just won't put it across the bottom side. I'm just going to run it across the top side using our tearing tape. At the end of that. I'm going to run that butted up against our designer series paper here. Just tear that off. This way. I should have taped down my layer of scratch paper there to hold down, but we're going to deal with it. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and just pop that backing off of that tearing tape. And just add our ribbon on top of that. I think I might have to tape down my scrap paper here. It's bugging me. My husband's going to the store, so he's showing me the list he made. They probably heard you already. Keeping it real. Okay, so let's set our card aside now. And okay, I got a strip of our basic beige, and this one measures 5/8 inches, and the length doesn't matter because we're going to be cutting it off anyway. And then we've got a Cherry Cobbler, which is 7/8 inches by 4 inches. And this is going to go across the bottom here, but we're going to stamp our sentiment first. me grab some tape and tape that down. It's bugging me. It's moving. Just put one on each corner here, the top and the bottom. All right, is that fairly straight? It looks like it's not too bad. All right, so we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to use our black memento ink and our sentiment that says sending love your way. And that's centered on that little strip. Looks pretty good. Close this back up. And I'm just going to angle cut each side. That could have been straighter, but it's not too bad. We're not going to sweat the small stuff. And this side doesn't really matter. I'm just going to chop a little bit of that end. And we're going to attach this to our cherry cobbler strip. And bring my glue back over here. Like I said, be sure you say hello when you come on. And if you're new, let us know where you're watching us from. It's kind of fun to see where everybody is. Hopefully you're not in the line of the hurricane that's coming up south of us. All right, I think that's pretty straight. And now we're just going to attach this to our lower portion of our card. And I'm just using my glue. Now that my husband has left the room, I can concentrate. He was kind of distracting me, so I apologize. And we're just going to enjoy our time today. Oops, this needs to go over a tiny bit. I want to leave a little space on the right side of it. Like so. All right, we're going to set that aside. And have a scrap of that here. I've gone ahead and stamped our flowers onto our basic beige cardstock using the cherry cobbler ink. But I've already die cut all those, stamped and die cut them all already. And we're just going to show you the finished product here, I guess, instead of going through those steps yet. So you want to stamp your flowers and images on basic beige, and then you die cut them out. And now we're going to arrange these onto our card front. And I'm going to start with the 3 cluster of flowers. And I'm going to kind of play around with how I want to position them. So I'm going to do a dry fit first. And this one will go under those. And kind of changing this up a little bit, maybe. Put those there. This one's going to go up here. But you want to make sure that you're not going over the edge of your card. And these are going to sit right down here. So I don't know if I like that flower there. I might bring it back over here. Bring this out a little bit farther. So, okay, I think I kind of like that. We're not going to pop anything up. We're just going to glue everything directly down. So I'm going to start with those 3 cluster flowers first. And If I can get them positioned where I had them. And this one's going to go next. And I didn't glue the edges. I kept them unglued on purpose so I could slip these things underneath where I needed them to be. And this one next. We're kind of cloudy today in Arkansas. I wonder if that has something to do with the hurricanes. We could use some of the rain, maybe if it comes this way. So anyway, I went to the ER yesterday because I'd been sick since Sunday morning. I'd been sick and I wasn't getting any better. So I decided to go to the ER yesterday morning, and come to find out I was passing kidney stones. And on top of that, my bladder was infected. So that's why I wasn't getting any better. So they got me on antibiotics, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully that clears up the problem. But that was really painful. I've never had kidney stones before, and I don't want any more. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. All right, and for our gems, we're going to be using, these are the Blooming Pearls, and we're going to be using the gold ones here. I'm going to get my Take Your Pick tool and use that putty end to pop these embellishments off. And I'm going to go with the larger gold ones, and I'm just going to put 2 in this corner on the cherry cobbler, and maybe a small one up here in the center of this single flower. And then I made a little bow using that ribbon that we talked about, the satin ribbon. And this is the cherry cobbler in gold. So I'm going to get me a mini glue dot, and we're going to attach that. And I think right here in this empty spot here, there's a little opening on those 3 flowers. I'm going to cover that a little bit. Okay, so here's our first card, but I didn't do anything on the inside. So the inside, you'd use that same basic beige, and I would do a 4 by 5 1/4 inch. But I'm not sure what I would put on the inside for a sentiment. Maybe somebody's got an anniversary, or you're just thinking of somebody, sending love your way. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure how to finish that off. So, but that's the front side of it. Okay, let me move things aside here, clean up a little bit, and we'll get on to our second card. And I've done a lot of the prep work on all these, so it's going to save us some time today. So here's the second card, and I've got a Missing You card. We made this one. Let me bring bits and pieces off here. And same with this one, I did a lot of the prep work ahead of time, so you don't have to sit and watch me. Okay, so this one is Missing You. And I don't have anything on the inside of that either, so I guess we'll just do, maybe just put a note in there or something. But anyway, this one is using that same designer series paper, well, the same pack anyway, but we're using, let me find it here. Yes, we're using this one right here. I'm not, yeah, we're going to be using the front side and the back side. So we're going to start out with the cherry cobbler card base. And I need to get my instructions over here. And pop that right there so I can look at it. All right, cherry cobbler, and this is the same as the last card. It's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to burnish that gold. And where the other card I had it going like this one we're going to go horizontally. No, vertical. Vertical. I get my directions mixed up here. All right, so we're going to leave our card base over here, and we've got our designer series paper. The flower one is 2 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, and then our flower one is 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And these are going to be attached to the front of our card using my adhesive. Yeah, kind of sloppy with my glue in here. All right, this is going to go on the left side, and I'm going to leave a little border going all around it. See this, I may have to scooch it over just a tiny bit. I want equal borders around the 3 sides. And then with our the back side of it, we're going to attach that to our left side of our card front. I feel like I forgot something this morning, but I don't know what I forgot to tell y'all. Oh, you can still join my team or get your starter kit for $99 and pay $99, pick out $125 worth of product. And you don't have to do what I do. You can just do it to get your discount. So if you have any questions on that, reach out to me. But it's a real bargain because you pay $99 with free shipping and you get to pick out $125 worth of product. So here's our card front so far. I've got a mess here trying to sort things out here. All right, we're using the dies that go along with this bundle. Oops, I read the wrong one. And show you here. I've got 2 choices. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use, I think this is Petal Pink or Pretty in Pink or our basic white. So I cut out both dies, and these are cut out using that die that is in the die bundle. And it cuts out the center, and then it gives you the negative too. So you can use both sides, but we're only going to use the one side today. So this is how it would be if it were together. So it's kind of interesting. You could put that around it too. And then it's got little slits here for the ribbon on both of them, the small one and the bigger one. So I think I'm going to change this one up. And I think I'm going to use the Pretty in Pink instead of the white, like my original. So I think I like that. Goes with the pink that's in the flowers. And we're using the ribbon, which is the textured ribbon, and this is the Blackberry Bliss and gold. So very pretty. I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well. But I'm going to go, I don't know how long I did the ribbon. Let me measure that. I didn't put that in my instructions. So the ribbon is probably about 5 3/4 inches long. So that's what we're going to do. We'll cut off 5 3/4. So right about here. Grab my ribbon scissors. And we'll cut it at an angle. And put our ribbon aside. And this is going to go right into our little slits that are in this die cut. So I'm going to persuade that to go in there. And I'll start at one end and then I'll go the back side with the ribbon so it's going across the back. And what did I do? I got it upside down. Let me redo that. At least I caught it before I attached it to my card. Okay, so it'll be like this. And then along the back side, we'll come back over to this little slit and bring it through that one. And I want to kind of keep it even on both ends, what's sticking out. Pull that tight to stretch it out. And it's going to go down at an angle. So we're going to attach that. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on dimensionals. I didn't on my original card, but looking at it, I think I want to. So let me grab some dimensionals. And it looks like they've all disappeared on me. Let me use these little edges. One there and another there. Then we're going to pop those backings off. Hi, Becky. How are you doing today? Glad you're here. Okay. If you missed any, you can rewatch it later and catch the beginning that you might have missed. Okay, so we're going to put this at kind of an angle across the front side of our card. And then we're going to add our flowers and leaves. And I've already stamped and die cut those already, so save a little time. So let me bring those over. Got leaves. I did 3 of these. And I did those using, these are the Wild Wheat ink. And this is on basic white cardstock. And then I did 2 of these leaves. And I used Pretty Peacocks to stamp those. And next are our flowers. I stamped those using Cherry Cobbler. Did I say this was Pretty Peacock? Yeah, Pretty Peacock, Wild Wheat, Cherry Cobbler, and another little flower in Cherry Cobbler. All right, so we're going to start arranging these onto our card. And to place this one here. Kind of looking at my original, trying to get an idea how to lay these down here. If I can pick them up, my fingernails weren't quite working. This one here. This one maybe here. And then our flowers are going to go here. And maybe there. And then I've got this little short flower that's going to go right up here to fill in that space there. And this one here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and start attaching those. So I'm going to start with this one. That's good to hear, Becky. All right, this one there. Like I was saying when I started, I wasn't sure if I was going to be going live today. I had to go to the ER yesterday. I guess I had passed a kidney stone, which is very painful. It's the first one I've ever done. I don't want to do it again. And then my bladder is infected, so we're on antibiotics now, trying to clear that up. It's always something, it seems like. Okay, and this one's going to go. And maybe right about there. We're going to save our little flower for last. We're going to tuck him in where I need it. And this one kind of right there. Oops. Need for it to stick. There it is. And oh, thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. You too. Prayer sent to you always. And we're going to place that flower there. And our other flower will go below that. And then we're going to take this little flower and put that down. I think maybe right here. I kind of moved it. It was over here, but I changed my mind. All right. And then I fussy cut out of that same paper a little flower. And out of the designer series paper, which would be this flower right here. And we're going to attach that to our card. And I'm going to kind of fill in this empty space right there with that. And now for our sentiment, we're going to do Missing You. So I've got a little tiny strip of paper that I save after I cut my paper I have left over. So I don't throw those away. I use them again. And I'm going to be using our blackberry, our cherry cobbler to die cut or stamp that. Oh, that's wonderful, Becky. That's very good to hear. That is a praise. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the Missing You sentiment. And we're going to stamp that on our little scrap here, which I need to straighten out so it lays flat. So I can stamp that, and it's still not. So let's try this and see how bad it is. And that is pretty crooked. So we're going to move over and do it again. I might take that one. It's kind of close to that one bottom edge, but that's okay. Yeah, I had mixed feelings on the paper at first, but the more I use it, the more I love it. It's very pretty. Have you seen all the designs? Here's my sample sheet that I make out. It's very pretty. So I think it might be one of my new favorites. I don't know. We've got a lot of good ones in the catalog, so it's kind of hard to pick out just one. And the Christmas papers are really pretty. All right, so we're going to slip that into this area. So let's add our adhesive. And I'm going to kind of slide that up underneath. So I think maybe right about there. Looks good. Okay, so there's our card front so far, but we need to add some bling to it. So we're going to add our gems, which are called Regal Foiled Adhesive Back Dots, and those were in that same suite. So I'm going to pull them out here, and we're going to use the Blackberry Bliss ones. And it sounds like Cookie's getting herself in trouble with the cat. She thinks that she can roughhouse with the cats like she would another dog, but it doesn't work out so well. Okay, and I'm going to slip one up here, and our third one. I didn't leave a whole lot of room to put gems here, so we're going to squeeze that one right there. Okay, so here's our card front. Missing You. And our inside layer is our basic white, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm not sure what sentiment I would like to put in there. Let me look. I think I'm going to use this one, the Wishing I Were There to Give You a Hug. So let's go ahead and stamp that using our Cherry Cobbler ink pad. And like you can see, this is one of my old ink pads, but it still works, so I haven't gotten a new replacement for it yet. I guess I'm going by, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Becky. I guess, I don't know. It's kind of funny, but you kind of feel sorry for the cat too. She does get kind of rough with them. Okay, Wishing You Were There. And that's kind of crooked. Let's turn that over and redo that. I wasn't paying attention very well. Try that again. That's better. Okay, then we're going to put that on the inside of our card. Well, I've got dropsies and everything's bouncing around on my table here. So anyway, with the Geek Squad guy that was supposed to have been here yesterday to fix my printer, and I had to reschedule it to next week. So in the meantime, all my devices are not working with my printer for some reason. So hopefully he can get me up and running again, because it's frustrating. I've been fighting with it for a couple of weeks and it's just gotten worse. So hopefully he can figure it out. Okay, the front of our card says Missing You and Wishing I Were There to Give You a Hug. You could stamp a flower down here too. But I think I'll just leave it like that for now. I could add something later if I want. Okay, so let's clean up our mess a little bit here. Get that extra scraps out of the way. Save those for another day. And this away. And if you missed it at the beginning, I'm using the Regal Flora Bundle. This is on page 35 of our mini catalog. All right, so here's our third card, and this is going to be a thanks card, a thank you card. Bits and pieces out here. And I've done all the prep work on all 3 of these cards today, so we should have a short live, maybe. Shouldn't take us long today. Okay, so here's our card, and I didn't do the inside of that one yet either, so we'll add that later. Okay, and this one is using the Designer Series paper on that same pack, and we're using this design right here. Oops, that up there so you can see that. And also, I didn't bring that one out. I'm using the, what is it called? Country Time. Grab it here real quick. To my sample sheets here and find it. Okay, it's called Countryside Inn. It's the Designer Series paper that I'm using along with our Regal Flora. Kind of get that out of here. And it's Countryside Inn. And I am using this pattern right here. That was a carryover from last catalog, so I was kind of glad that it carried over. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. And I have my instructions here, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, Knight of Navy cardstock is our card base. Go over there. And this measure is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Then it's scored in the center at 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to burnish our fold. And this one's going to be this way. Vertical, I guess you could say. All right, and then our Designer Series paper, the Countryside Inn, is 1 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. And we're going to go ahead and attach that to our card. And it's going to go on the left side of our card front. And we'll leave a little border at the left side because the top and the bottom are going to meet up to the edge of the card base. Attach that, see. And then we've got our basic white, measures 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And that's going to be our mat for our other Designer Series paper. And this measures 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. We're going to attach that to our white mat. Even the back side is pretty. I cleaned my silicone mat today. I was going to use that, but I haven't even put it out here. So I'm living dangerously, trying to make sure I don't get glue everywhere. All right, we're going to leave an edge going all around that, all 4 sides. And now that's going to be glued to the front of our card. I'm trying to turn it this way. Let me see. It's one way better than the other. Maybe this looks better for the top. So we're going to place that on our card front. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border at the top and then the sides, but I'm going to have a bigger border at the bottom. Does that make sense? That didn't really sound like it made any sense. All right, so here's what our card looks like so far. And then I have die cut our basic white using our Spotlight on Nature dies. And this has 12 dies to it. It has different designs for each size. So 12 dies in total. And I've die cut. Oh, I use this one right here. I should have got it out. Let me get it out and show you if we've got time. So it has 2 sheets of dies here. So there's a lot, 12 of them. It's in there so I don't lose them. So anyway, I did the basic weight using this die. And we are going to stamp our thanks on that. And I've already got that on my acrylic block here. And I'm just going to use our black memento ink. Oh, got a lot of ink on that one. And I'm going to keep it up towards the upper portion of our circle die. We'll set that aside for a moment because we've got, I cut out some leaves using our silver specialty paper. And this one comes from the painted lavender dies, and I didn't grab those. I could grab them, but I'm thinking everybody probably knows what they are. It's the painted lavender dies. And we're just going to arrange them here. Oops, my phone's going off. So we're going to attach those to that designer series paper, and I'm just going to put a few dots of glue at the back side of our leaves, just enough to hold them in place. I don't need to saturate the whole thing. I'm going to put this one at an angle. Hold that in place for a moment, let the glue attach itself. And the same with this one. This one's going to kind of go more straight. Whoops, it wasn't attached yet. Stick to my finger. Stay there. All right, now we're going to take our circle, and I could put this on dimensionals. Yeah, I think I will. Bring our dimensionals back over here, and I may finish up a sheet here. I'm just going to snip our outside corners. Well, I think I just one dimensional on the back of that will be good. And we're going to place that over our leaves. And I made a bow using our gold and silver 1/8 inch trim combo pack. It's the gold and the silver, but we're using the silver today, our trim. Very soft, easy to work with, not bulky. But I've already tied a bow using that. And we're going to attach that at the bottom of our circle using our mini glue dots. And I take your pick tool. These are the glue dots that are in our paper pumpkin, and I tend to use them for small areas, like small skinny ribbons. Okay, and to grab my rhinestones, we're going to use our basic rhinestones, or rhinestone basic jewels, I guess it's called. I usually just call them our rhinestones. I don't say the full name a lot of times. So I'm going to bring that out here, and I take your pick tool. We're going to use the smaller ones, and I'm just going to kind of put them along here, and I'll go 2 on the circle, and I'm going to move that and put it in the center of that flower one. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. Thanks. And the inside, we're going to use our basic white, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I didn't put anything on the inside. And I don't know what I would want to use. You might want to just leave it to write in notes. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it blank, and I can use it for whatever I need at the time. So thanks could be for a lot of occasions. All right, so here's our third card. Whoops, and I bent that back. There we go. Thanks. And then our inside is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Oh, I did have the painted lavender dies. Here's the dies right here. So I was prepared. I didn't think I had them out here. So here's the dies. Get a hold of those that I used. Okay. There's a pretty good assortment of different ones in here to use. But these are the ones that I grabbed. So I guess I was prepared and didn't know it. Okay, so let me get our cards out here, and we are good with time, less than an hour. It doesn't happen very often. All right. Oops. So here are our cards for today. I hope you enjoyed them. And I know this is kind of short. I had a lot of the prep work done ahead of time, so it saved a lot of time, but I won't do this all the time. It's just kind of one of those days that I did. But these are our cards today. Hope you liked them, and share with your friends. And if you're watching it on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button, and also that little bell. It'll notify you when I have a video coming up or has been put up. So tell your friends, tell your family to come join us. And I won't be live next Wednesday. I have a doctor appointment that I have to go to. So I'm going to reschedule it for the following day, that Thursday, which would be September 19th. And I'll be back at my regular time of 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So put that on your calendar. That's a little bit of a change, and I'll put out a reminder too on my website. So until next week, September 19th, Thursday, 10:30 Central Time, y'all have a good week and stay safe and stay healthy. So bye-bye.